Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa Siegel. I'm a professor of migration studies, and this is a channel about all things migration. And today we're going to do a quick little update on what's going on with regard to remittances. So in case you don't know what remittances are, very quickly, generally speaking, remittances or monetary remittances in this case are the money that migrants send back to their countries of origin, usually to their friends, family members, households back in the country of origin. If you want to learn more, though, about exactly what remittances are, you can check out my video here on the channel that talks more about remittances and what they are. But today we're going to talk about what we currently know about where remittances are going. So what are our top 10 countries where remittances are going, and why do we see what we see today? So the data that I'm going to be using in the video today comes from the Migration and Development Brief number 36 that is published by the World Bank and NOMAD, or the Global Knowledge Partnership on Migration and Development. This is a great source for information both on migration but also especially remittances. I'll make sure to also link the brief down in the description below in case you would like to dig into any of the information in more detail. But again, what are we looking at today? We want to look at the top 10. So first of all, in 2022, remittance flows specifically to low and middle income countries are expected to increase by close to 4% and reach around 630 billion US dollars. And this is a growth even from the growth from 2021, when remittance flows reached 605 billion US dollars to low and middle income countries. And if we think about all the effects this can have, and if we look at this in relation to other international financial flows, remittances to low and middle income countries, excluding China, are larger than foreign direct investment and official aid flows. So really important money that is flowing around the world. So let's jump right in now and look at our top 10. And when we look at our top 10, we're going to look at top 10 in absolute terms and top 10 in relative terms. All right. So where are remittances going? So in absolute terms, in total US dollars, all right, that's what we're looking at for 2021. We see that India takes the first place with around 89 billion US dollars flowing to India in 2021. We've got in second place, we have Mexico, which overtook China this year. So in 2020, China was in the number 2 spot, but this year we see Mexico taking the number 2 spot. Then we have China, the Philippines, and then we have Egypt rounding out the top 5, with then Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Ukraine, and Vietnam rounding out the top 10 in absolute terms. Now, if we look at in relative terms, and in relative terms, we can look at remittances as a percentage of GDP in the country. So if we do that, then we see here that Lebanon, Tonga, Tajikistan, the Kyrgyz Republic, Samoa, the Gambia, El Salvador, Jamaica, and Nepal make up the top 10 of remittance receivers as a percentage of GDP. So when we often talk about major remittance recipients, it's often the top 10 in absolute terms that are talked about, countries like India, China, Mexico, the Philippines. But it's actually countries like Lebanon, Tonga, Tajikistan, El Salvador, Jamaica, Honduras, Nepal, and others that are the ones that are probably most affected by remittances, considering the fact that here we have anywhere from 54% of GDP to 24% of GDP actually coming from remittances. All right, so why do we see what we see today? So if we go back to our first top 10, particularly our top 5 in absolute terms, remember we had India, Mexico, China, Philippines, and Egypt. Well, why do we see India in the first place? Well, obviously, India has a large number of migrants all around the world. We also have seen a recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, and we see the return of more labor migrants to hosting countries where maybe they had actually come back to India in the past. Now they're able to migrate again, and we're seeing those remittances coming in. So similarly with Mexico, the majority of Mexican migrants today are in the United States, and we saw the United States have a strong economic rebound in 2021. So that's also why we're generally seeing more remittances coming to Mexico, which of course also has a large number of migrants abroad. Similarly, obviously China also has a very large number of migrants abroad, but we have seen remittances not at, let's say, the same strength, the same levels as we have seen in previous years. The Philippines also, with many migrants all over the world, but also in the United States, did definitely benefit from the increase in job creation in the United States and the strong economic growth there in 2021. Now, Egypt, that rounds out the top 10, has also really benefited from the migration to the Gulf states, where we have seen really higher oil prices, and they have also benefited from this growth in the Gulf states. As well as healthy economic activity from Europe and the United States. So that's, really what we see there for the top 5 in absolute terms. Now for the top countries in relative terms, we saw, a number of Pacific Island countries like Tonga and Samoa that were quite hard hit in 2021 by natural disasters, and remittances also played a very important role then in trying to help with the recovery there. We also see like a country like Lebanon with a large diaspora, and also a country that is hosting a large number of forcibly displaced persons and refugees, is also receiving remittances from other countries around the world. We've also seen important remittances coming from the United States, for instance, to El Salvador and Honduras, who are mainly reliant on remittances from the United States. And since we did see that strong growth in 2021, that also helped to increase the growth for several of these Central American countries. Now, that's just a quick wrap up of the top 10 remittance receiving countries in 2021, both in absolute and in relative terms. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. And of course, as usual, if you found this video useful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it around to anyone who you think this video might be useful for. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that we upload every week on different migration issues. And I do hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.